so as I said to some of you who were just on a couple of seconds ago, all you need is a space on the floor. A mat is optional. It doesn't really matter. Nothing that we're going to do is going to hurt if you don't have a mat. So yeah, I prepared a 45-minute stretch and move session because I know that you're all working from home, probably on not great desk setups, maybe on your bed. So everything that we're going to do is just to move everything that's going to be tight, going to be stiff, your shoulders, your mid-back, your lower back. Work on a traffic light system, so if you're in the red zone, if it's really, really painful, I urge you to ease off. We want to be working in green or amber. Amber is really normal if you're not used to doing these sorts of stretches or you've been sat at your desk for hours. You're going to find that it's a little bit uncomfortable to start with, so don't be put off by that, but don't work into too much pain. Okay, so get yourself onto your mat, make sure you can see the camera. I'll explain everything as we go. If there's, and I'll make sure I give you lots of kind of verbal prompts as well. All right, so onto your mats, everybody. And the first position that you're going to be in is a shell stretch. So this is kneeling, bottom down to heels, and stretch the arms all the way forwards. Okay. So just take that position there. Open up those shoulders, bottom down to those heels, and take some nice big deep breaths in and out. Now as you're breathing in and out, try and imagine that you're breathing into your lower back, so really opening up and stretching out all of that lower back area there. Good, and then from here, just lift up onto your knees. So we're going to have hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, looking between your thumbs. So we don't want to drop the head down, we want to look between the thumbs, and we're going to do a cat stretch. So tuck the bottom underneath, drop the chin now all the way down towards the chest, and now you're looking between those thighs, rounding the spine, pushing your hands into the floor so you can feel the stretch through your mid-back area. And then sink the pelvis through, stick the bottom up to the ceiling, squeeze the shoulder blades together and look forwards and up. And again, round the shoulders, tuck the bottom underneath, drop the chin to the chest, and then sink through. And you're going to move between these two positions just in your own time, really exaggerating both positions if you can. Good, and just focus on that breathing as well. You can pause in any particular position if it feels really tight or really restricted. This is a great exercise first thing in the morning, or if you've got any back issues. It's a non-weight bearing exercise, so it means that your back can move without the weight going through it when you're standing. So it just makes things a little bit easier. Good, just a few more to do here with that cat stretch. And then find that middle position. Now we're going to take the next move, it's called thread the needle. You're going to take your hand, glide it through the gap between your hand and your knee, along the floor, bending that opposite elbow to allow your shoulder to drift towards the floor, but don't collapse on the floor. Hold yourself up there and really reach that hand through, as if you're trying to grab something just beyond your fingertips. Now in that position, keep the bottom nice and high, shoulder drawing towards the floor, big deep breath in and out. And then slide the hand through, and we're going to change sides. Take the opposite hand, palm up, through the gap, driving the shoulder towards the floor, bending that opposite elbow, and then all the way back up and change sides. Again, Pushing that hand through, palm up, reaching as if you were trying to grab hold of something. Feeling that rotation on that mid-back and around the shoulders. Really, really good exercise for desk workers. You don't often get the twist, the rotation, because you just sat in that hunched position all day. Come up and change sides. Good, just breathing nice and slowly as you push into that stretch. And change again, 2 more to do. And last one. Okay, now take that arm again. We're going to push it through as you just did. Don't mind which side you're doing here. Push it through. Now, when you get to that end point, you can't reach that hand anymore. You're going to turn your palm down to the floor. So now that thumb and that palm is down on the floor. From here, I want you to leave the arm where it is and send the bottom back towards your heels. And this arm now is straightening out in front of us. So I've got 2 straight arms, one out at 90 degrees, one straight up. Bottom back to your heels. Big stretch through those shoulders. And then lift back up. Slide the hand through. We're going to change sides. Take the hand. Glide it through the gap. Reach as far as you can. Turn the palm down to the floor. When you are there, start to slide that bottom backwards. Both arms nice and straight. Holding that stretch. And then lift up. And again on the other side. Push the arm through. Turn the palm down to the floor. Reach the bottom back. Straighten that top arm as well. And lift. Last time on the other side. Palm down. Slide the bottom. And then lift up. Good, just give yourself a little wiggle there. Okay, bring your feet together, bring your knees together. On the floor, hands out in front of you. Really easy exercise. You're going to swing your feet side to side. So we're going to go one way to the middle and then across to the other way. Now, as you do that, I want you to turn and look over your shoulder at your feet. Okay? So this is a really nice way of flexing through that lower back area. Good, keep going. Twist, look at those feet. Back to the middle and across the other way. Good, keep going. 2 more. Last one. And then feet go down onto the floor. Just open those knees a little bit. Send your bottom back to your heels into your shell stretch. Okay, now we're going to go from here to an upward dog. Let me show you what's going to happen. Lift your bottom away from your heels. Keep moving forwards. Squeeze your bottom and let that pelvis sink towards the floor. So we're going here into an upward dog, or for some of you who do yoga, it's similar to a cobra position. Okay, then send the bottom up, back to shell stretch and repeat that movement. We come forwards. We squeeze the bottom, send the pelvis through. You go as far as you feel comfortable to. Shoulders away from those ears. And then up and back. To repeat again, forwards, bum squeeze, pelvis sinks through, look forwards and up. And again, back we go. Good, just keep repeating this movement in your own time. If your back feels stiff, keep your bottom a little bit higher. You don't have to sink straight through into it if you're struggling with this one. Good, keep going. Two more to do. And the last one. Okay, coming back up onto all fours there. Now we're going to take the right leg and we're going to place it up next to our hands, okay? So both hands next to or down onto the floor and our foot next to your right hand. Welcome to those who have just joined us. We've only just started, so follow the moves as you see on the screen. So both hands down on the floor, foot next to that hand. This is your option one, depending on how stiff you are. You can stay like this, or we're going to curl the toes underneath on the back leg and extend that back leg out. Okay, so option one, we stay with the knee down. Option two, we extend up, okay? And you're gonna just hold that position there. Now, if you haven't stretched these hips out in the whole of lockdown, this is gonna be really stiff and really tight. Any of you that are going out running or using that hour's exercise to walk, again, really important that you stretch the hips out. Okay, now for those of you who are in that long position there, you're gonna just change your legs over without putting your knee down. If you need to, you can place the knee, put the leg back and swing the other one through. Entirely up to you. Opening and sinking into that stretch. So I want you to imagine you're kind of in this sprint position. You're opening up through the front of these hips here. Good, just breathing and holding. Okay, for those of you who are in this long position, we're going to change again. So just switch those arms over, those legs over, should I say. Now in this position, option one, you've obviously got your leg up. Option two, you've got the leg down. We're now going to add in that right arm lift as well. So it's going up towards the ceiling. If you bring option one, the leg is straight. Bring that arm down, place it down on the floor. Take a big deep breath in. Breathe out, open it again. And close. And again, open. And close. Changing your legs over, everybody. You can pop the knee down and change, or just a straight switch. Big deep breath in. Breathe out. Open the arm. And close. Breathing in. Breathing out. And open. And down. Breathe in. Breathe out and open. And place that arm down. Take that leg back, take both knees down to the floor, bottom to heels, stretch the arms forwards into that shell stretch again. Okay, lifting up onto all fours, take your hands off the floor, bring one foot in front of you. Okay, so we're now going to do a lunge forwards with a double arm lift to the ceiling. So take your weight forwards onto this front leg, lift both arms up towards the ceiling and take a really big stretch there. The stretch you're going to feel here is down the front of that thigh with the knee down on the floor, and then you're going to come back and you're going to repeat again. Forwards, double arm lift, and back. Good, keep repeating this move, backwards and forwards. The deeper you can stretch forwards, the deeper you can lunge, the better. Good, 3 more. 2 to go. Really big stretch forwards. Last one. And then change those legs over. Other one in front. Big deep breath in. Breathe out, lunge forwards, double arm lift. And back. Really important to open up those shoulders. The hips our hips are getting tighter and tighter. Now you're all desk workers, you're all sat at your desk for a long time. The shorter and tighter the hips get, the more problems we tend to see with our lower backs and our hamstrings. So this is a really nice exercise, dead simple, but just opens up all through the front of those hips. 2 more to do. Last one. And then place those arms down, place those knees down. Okay, we're going to come and lie on our side. So it doesn't matter which side, you're going to do both of them eventually. So lie on one side, probably the one that you can still see the screen. You're going to bend your arm and just pop it underneath your head. Both knees bent, both feet together. Top arm out in front of you, down onto the floor, okay? We're going to take that top arm up to the ceiling, looking up the arm. Take that hand and place it on the front of the chest or shoulder. Look at that elbow that's up towards the ceiling and keep watching the elbow as it goes across to the other side. And then come back up, reach the arm up and back to close. Again, lift, place the hand. Open the elbow down towards the floor. Really big stretch. Up to the ceiling and back to close again. And repeat. Up, hand to shoulder and open. Up and close. 2 more. And last one. Okay, now hold that position for me there, everybody. So the elbow is down towards the floor. Your top leg, I would like you to straighten the knee with the leg coming forwards. So you can increase, you can see my leg coming up towards my head. You can increase that stretch and just hold there. Big deep breath in and out. Really big rotation of the spine. Opens the chest and the shoulders. Dead important if you sat at a desk. And then bring that arm back, bend that knee and bring the arm back to close. From here, lie onto your backs, everybody. So we just go 90 degrees onto your backs. Feet together, knees together. We're going to start with the arms down by your side, palms up, and just take some knee rolls side to side. It's one of my favourite exercises. It's super simple to do, and it's really effective on rotating all of the spine. So when we're rolling those knees side to side, I'd like you to focus on the knees going down and away from you, rather than just straight to the side. Up to the middle and change again. Good, those feet can stack one on top of the other as we roll. And then we can add in the opposite head movement. So if the knees go to the left, you look over your right shoulder. And then up and change sides. Just nice and gentle. Okay, now with your arms, everybody, you can start to lift them up a little bit higher. So we may be in about a sort of 80, 90 degree angle position now. This will get more your sort of middle spine. So again, that sort of level that gets really tight when you're at a desk or you're using a laptop or an iPad or, you know, the devices that you've got at home. Good, just keep moving and rotating that head in that opposite direction. Okay, take the arms a little bit higher now. So we're going up on a higher angle. This is going to rotate higher up the spine and open up that opposite chest and shoulder as well. Back to the middle and across the other way. Good, keep going, you're doing really well. Just 2 more. And then come back to the middle. From here, bring your right knee into your chest and hold it with your right hand only. Bring your left arm down by your side and straighten that left leg out along the floor, okay? Holding that position there, you're going to, from here, swap your hands over, so your left hand comes across to the outside of the knee and the right arm comes down towards the floor. Now take that knee all the way across to your left hand side leaving your right arm down onto the floor, and hold that big stretch through the spine, maybe through the buttock as well on that side, through your lower back. Good. Big deep breaths in and out. Come back up to the middle, straighten that right leg, pull that left knee in with that left hand, give it a nice tight hug first of all. Swap the arms over so it goes onto the outside of the knee. Place the left hand down by your side, big deep breath in, and breathe out and roll that knee all the way across. Looking over that left shoulder, nice big deep breaths in and out. And then back to the middle. Good, swap the legs over again. This time pull the right knee into the chest with that right hand and let your left leg glide out at about a sort of 45-degree angle. So it's coming out to the side slightly, okay? So we've got that right knee in, left leg comes out at that sort of 45-degree position. And now lift your left arm up to the ceiling as well. So everything is lengthening out on that left-hand side. Point those toes away on that left-hand side and hold for 3, 2, 1. Bring the arm up, down, bring the leg back to the middle, change the legs over, okay? So left knee pulls in, right leg slides out on about a 45-degree angle. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling, goes all the way behind you. Point your toes away and hold for 3, 2, 1. Pull that right knee in as well. So now we've got a double knee hug into the chest. If you can feel that stretch onto your lower back, that's absolutely fine. You can stay where you are. If you want to increase the stretch, extend the legs up towards the ceiling and sort of grab hold of behind the calves or the ankles, and pull those feet towards you and let that lower back really round and stretch out there. Taking some nice big deep breaths in and out. Good, holding a little bit longer. Okay, place one leg down, then the other. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Okay, so your right ankle is resting on that left knee at the moment. Option 1, you place your right hand onto your right knee and you push the right knee away and you just hold that stretch there. Option 2 increases the stretch. We take our hands and we grab that left thigh and we pull it up towards us. And that's going to open your hip joint up and stretch out your bum muscle on that right hand side. So just holding there for as long as we can. Good. Just going to check the system is okay. Okay, from here to increase that stretch, we're going to lift that left leg up towards the ceiling as well. So now we've got 2 for 1. We've got a stretch in our right bum cheek and we've got a stretch in our left hamstring, and you're just going to hold there. Good, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that left knee. Pop that left foot down on the floor, take your right leg off and change your legs over. So now we go left ankle over right knee. Option 1, push the knee away and hold. Option 2, pull the knee into the chest and hold it there. Good, so these stretches here open up the hip, as I said. It also stretches out a muscle in the bottom where the sciatic nerve travels through, and when we're sat on it all day, it can become irritated, so it's a good one to stretch out to avoid any problems with your sciatic nerve. And then you can extend that right leg up towards the ceiling and hold that stretch there as well. Good. Then you're going to bend that right knee, place that right foot down onto the floor, and unlink the other leg. Okay, from here, you're going to put your feet together and you're going to push your knees out wide. So you're going to sit in what we call a frog position. So you're going to let your knees drop down towards the floor, and you're going to place your hands onto your thighs, and you're going to just use your fingers to just gently open them up that little bit further, okay? Holding there. Again, sitting all day creates a lot of tightness through the inner thighs. So let's just open those up there. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1, and pull those knees back to the center. Okay, you're now going to go onto your other side, everybody. So the opposite one you did for your arm openings. So I'm going to face the screen, but just go onto my other side so you can still see me. Feet together, knees together, both bottom arm underneath your head and top arm out in front of you. From here, we lift the top arm up to the ceiling. We take the hand to the front of the chest, and then we open that elbow across to the other side. And we come back up, reach the arm, and then come back to close. You're going to repeat that again. Up, hand to shoulder, and open the elbow towards the floor. And just keep repeating that movement for me, nice and slowly. Good. Again, this is one of my other favourite exercises. It's non-weight bearing. It's really, really good to rotate your spine. And just notice as well which side you're finding easier to do. Often the side that you use your mouse with will be the most restricted side. Okay, now on the next one, we're going to do the movement with the leg again. So open the elbow and hold that stretch there, and then extend that leg out and up towards you, feeling that stretch through the spine and holding and breathing there. Good, and then bend that knee back, bring the elbow back up and back down towards the floor, and from here you're going to roll right round onto all fours again. So we're back into that crawling position that we were in when we started. Okay, back to your cat stretch. So you're going to tuck the bottom underneath, hands down towards the floor, drop the chin down so we're looking between those thighs, sink the pelvis through, look forwards and up and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And just keep repeating there. So hopefully now, half an hour in, you're just starting to feel like this stretch might be a bit easier than it was when you first started. Good. Focus on that steady breathing. The temptation when something's painful or stiff is to hold your breath, but please try and just breathe normally if you can. Okay, now from here, you're going to take your hands one step forwards in front of you. This is going to stretch your hamstrings, so curl the toes underneath. You're going to push through your wrists, lift your bottom up to the ceiling, and come into your downward dog. So the opposite move we did at the beginning, we did an upward dog. This is now a downward dog. And you can just enjoy that excruciating stretch up the back of your legs. It's a good job you're all on mute. Heels driving down towards the floor, knees as straight as you possibly can, and we're looking towards those toes at the moment. Holding there. 3, 2, 1. Slowly bend those knees, push through those feet as you come down towards the floor. Keep the toes curled, send the bottom back to that shell stretch, but now we're stretching the bottom of the feet as well. Lift back up to those knees, big deep breath in, breathe out and lift to shell stretch. To downward dog, my mistake. Heels driving down towards the floor, knees as straight as we can, looking towards those toes. Pushing the chest towards your thighs, back's nice and straight. And then again, bending those knees slowly down towards the floor. Keep the toes curled as you send that bottom back into that shell stretch. And lift up. And again, downward dog position. So we're creating a triangle, the bottom being the highest point of the triangle. Breathing. And then drop those knees back down. And again, bottom to heels into shell stretch. And then come up onto all fours into that downward dog again. Now, when we get to this one, you're going to pause there and we're going to do some heel pulses. So let me explain. Bend your left knee so your right heel pushes into the floor and your left heel comes away from the floor. Big stretch down the back of the right leg now and change sides. Push the left heel in, bend the right knee and change again. Keep alternating sides. Nice and slowly, we don't have to go quick with this one. And we're just opening up through the calves, the hamstrings, the sciatic nerve, the lower back, the shoulders. Really great exercise, this one. Good, we've got 4 more heel pulses. And then bend those knees down to the floor. This time, uncurl the toes, send your bottom back to your heels and stretch those arms forwards and take a breather there. Okay, next move, we're going to come up onto all fours, curl the toes underneath, lift up to downward dog. Now your next challenge is, can you walk your hands into your toes without bending your knees too much, okay? Now, I can't see you, so you're allowed to cheat a little bit if you need to. You can bend those knees a little bit if your hamstrings are not as flexible as they should be, perhaps. So you're down onto the floor here, your hands are down, your knees are as straight as you can get them, but I don't want you to lock them out and sort of settle onto your joints. I want them still to be in a soft position. And now we're going to roll into standing. So pull your tummy button into your spine and start to roll into your standing position. When we get to the top, the head's the last thing to lift, and now we're going to reverse the movement. So we're going to roll down, sliding the fingertips down the front of the legs, all the way as close to the floor as you possibly can. We're going to walk our hands forwards, back to that downward dog position. So we're back into triangle pose. Heels drive down to the floor, knees as straight as we possibly can, and start to bend those knees. Uncurl the toes, send the bottom back to your heels and hold there. And again, lift up, curl the toes underneath, lift up to downward dog, triangle position. Walk your hands, here we go, flat hands if we possibly can, all the way into those toes. Hold the position looking between those legs. Pull the tummy button up towards the spine and start to roll into your standing position. Good. When we get up to the top, head's the last thing to lift, and then we reverse the movement, rolling all the way down. Nice big movement, this one. It stretches everything out. Walk the hands forwards into that downward dog position. Bend both knees down towards the floor. Uncurl the toes. Send the bottom back to shell stretch and hold there. That easily. Okay, so we're going to hold that downward dog position there. So from this move, instead of putting your knees down on the floor, we're going to go downward dog to plank position. So we're going to hold there. Now go back to downward dog and then back to plank. So now we're just moving between these two positions and you're driving the whole of the movement from your shoulders. So bottom up, bottom back to plank, bottom up, bottom back to plank. Now if you struggle with this one, you can place your knees down briefly when you get to the plank position, but if you can, just keep moving between those 2 positions there, up and down. Good, keep going. We've got 4 more to do, so this really starts to open up those shoulders. Last 2. Last 1. And come back to that plank position. Now in your next challenge, you're going to see if you can walk your hands all the way back into your toes, soften the knees and roll back into your standing position. So it's the whole move now, okay? Drop the chin down, roll down towards your toes, walk your hands out to your downward dog position, holding there. Go from downward dog to plank, downward dog, and walk back all the way to those toes. Soften the knees and roll up, okay? We're going to do 2 more of those movements. So drop the chin, rolling all the way down, walking out to downward dog position, move through to plank, back up to downward dog, and walk all the way back. Draw the core, tummy button to the spine, and roll to standing. Final 1. Drop that chin down, roll down, walk those hands out, bottom up, through to plank. Let's hold that for a little bit longer on this last one. Up to downward dog. And then bend both of your knees, uncurl those toes. When you are here, take your knees nice and wide for me, take your feet nice and wide, and send your bottom back. So now we've got a wide leg shell stretch, and reach those arms forwards. And just hold that stretch there. You're going to feel this a little bit more through your inner thighs this time. Okay, and then come back up into your kneeling position. I'm just going to turn to face the camera so you can see the move here. We're on all fours. You're going to take one leg out to the side. Okay, so we've got a 90-degree position. Both hands down on the floor, and you're going to rock backwards and forwards into shell stretch and back up onto all fours. Into shell stretch and back up onto all fours. And this move here is going to stretch out those inner thighs, okay? Tends to be worse for men than it is for women. So I'm sorry about that. And again, if you're sat in that seated position for lengths of time, I know you're all working really hard, these inner thighs get extremely tight. Okay, you're going to do 1 more. And then we're going to change sides. Pop that knee down, straighten the opposite leg out, and then sink back and up. And keep going there, forwards and back. Good. 2 to go. Okay, now, if you want a little challenge to finish with, you're going to follow me. If you want to stay doing more on that leg and do a repeat on the other side, you are welcome to. So we have got 1 leg out to the side. Your next challenge is to take both legs out to the side. Hands down towards the floor. And all you're going to do there then is rock backwards and forwards. Okay? This is going to stretch the inner thighs, the inside of the knees, the lower back. Just rock the weight forwards and backwards. Last few to do. I can almost hear the pain. Okay, from here you're going to start to walk your feet in. So we go toes, heels, toes, heels. We go up onto those fingertips when you need to. Toes, heels. All the way to your feet being hip width apart, hands down towards the floor as low as you can. Soften the knees, draw the core into to roll up, and slowly peel into your standing position. Shoulders up, back and down, and then drop the chin and roll back down towards those toes. I'm going to just tilt my camera so you can see my top part. Good, all the way down. Soften the knees and roll all the way back up. Good, let's do 2 more of those to finish. Drop the chin, roll down, big stretch through the back of the legs, and then roll up. And final one, chin to chest, roll down, and roll back up. Take a side bend there, so slide the arm down the side of the leg, let the head go with you. Don't leave it up towards the ceiling. Come back up and change sides. Sliding that opposite hand down and back up. We've got 2 more to do. Glide and slide. And final one, glide and slide. And back up. 3 big deep breaths to finish, everybody. Slide your shoulders up to your ears to breathe in. And drop your shoulders down to breathe out. And again, breathe in and up. Out and down. And final one, in and up. And out and down. Good, give everything a shake. Give yourself a little twist, side to side. You did fabulously, everybody. Well done. I'm sorry about the technology issue halfway through. Computers go crazy, don't they? So hopefully you feel better for moving a little bit, feel you've got some more energy to go back this afternoon and do what you need to do. I hope you're all staying well. I hope you're all staying safe. And any feedback, please send it through to Jane. If you want to see more of this, let her know, and you know, I'll be willing to do some more live classes for you. Have a great rest of the day and see you soon. Bye, everybody.